Professor Kwame Gyan, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
God is still taking care of his children. I hope you are fine this morning.
I am fine this morning. I am on my way to court.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Then it's the best time to have you because...
yes. I'm sitting in the traffic, which also is evidence that we didn't plan our land well.
You see, and talking about land, because we've just spoken to Justice of the Court of Appeal, Justice Alexander Osei-Tutu, and he's been explaining a few things to us. The fact that, look, yes, you can register your land document, but to get a land title, the minister has declared Greater Accra region, parts of Kumasi and Kaswa as areas where you can get land title. And so this would mean that the state cannot guarantee ownership of your land. And already that sends some bit of shivers down our spine. The fact that if you are in the eastern region, central, western region, your land ownership becomes a challenge, opening you up for land litigation. Where did we go wrong, Professor Gyan?
We went wrong in diverse ways. But before I go into the matter, let me acknowledge that Justice Osei-Tutu is a person of profound knowledge in land law and other areas. And I am proud to say that he was my student at the University of Ghana School of Law. I taught him land law.
Oh, I see.
Yes, and he is a very illustrious former student, I can tell you. Yes, so when he makes statements about the law, they are accurate, I tell you. I read his piece in the graphic, but I couldn't listen to him. But I know that he will do justice to the matter. The second thing I would want to say is, I guess this is probably the only medium I can get to do that. I want to extend warm greetings to Mr. Kwesi Chum.
Sure.
Mr. Kwesi Chum paid me a surprise visit last week in my residence with a big hamper on behalf of himself and multimedia.
Oh, that's nice.
So, my deep appreciations to him and multimedia. So now we can go to the substance.
Please, let's get into it. I'm asking, where did we go wrong? I mean, the PNDC law, 1986, it's been 40 years and only 3 districts?
Yes. Even the 3 districts, when Justice Osei-Tutu wrote about Kaswa and the CBD in Kumasi, those were pilots. So the areas around Kaswa, beyond Budumburam, the Awutu areas, Opekuma, Loye, that corridor, it was an attempt to pilot land registration in typically non-urban settlements. So it was a pilot part of the land administration project. And then the CBD, the Central Business District in Kumasi, was also piloted by way of a typically urban kind of environment. So that was how Kumasi and the area around Kaswa towards Winneba was piloted. Otherwise, the only formal declaration of a region as a titling area was Greater Accra region. And so it doesn't mean that the rest of the country doesn't have registration. But the rest of the country has registration of deeds, which is registration of instruments relating to land, but not the land itself.
What's the difference?
Now, if you do registration of deeds, it means that you bring a piece of document evidencing a land transaction. So maybe you got an indenture or some other document from the grantor, which is the person that gave you the land. You send that document to the Lands Commission. They go through a certain process and record. It's a recording. They record that transaction as having taken place. And then they put the instrument on their files. But when somebody brings another transaction respecting that same area, they will record that one as well.
Oh, how?
Yes, because they are just doing a recording of transactions. They are not recording the title. They are not registering the title to the land. They are just recording instruments affecting the land. So whoever brings an instrument, it will be recorded.
Yeah, but I mean, if you record one transaction, why do you record another? Can't you?
Yes. So that is why if you do a typical search at the Lands Commission, it will maybe start by saying the site is not state land, and that the site is affected by a transaction from me Anyete Kwakuranya Lamanche to Multimedia Group. Then it will also be showing that it is affected by a transaction from me Anyete Kwakuranya to Kwame Gyan, and a transaction from me Anyete Kwakuranya to Kofi Yeboah. They would record the transactions, and then what happens then is, if there is a contest between the three transactions, then the one that was recorded first will take precedence over the one subsequently recorded.
Okay.
But the state or the Republic of Ghana is not giving you any assurance that that recording in the records of the Lands Commission is sanctified. The state does not put its faith and credit behind that document because the state has not verified the document on the ground. Titling involves a lot more detailed and comprehensive investigation of the records affecting the transaction and the persons involved in the transaction. That is why in the write-up, Justice Dr. Osei Tutu says the state gives you a title which is indefeasible. The title becomes indefeasible if you have gone through all the processes set out in the law. Then the state says that I, the Republic of Ghana, guarantee that this person is the registered proprietor of this parcel of land. And that is the difference between the registration of title and registration of deeds.
Okay. But I mean, help us understand, what's the difficulty? Why are we not able to get titles throughout the country?
Okay. One, the first problem is we need maps for the whole country. If you want to do titling for the whole country, you need maps. And the maps must be drawn to the acceptable level of precision. That is what normally we describe as cadastre, the cadastral plans. So maps drawn to precision by way of accuracy. And that's what we don't have.
We don't have maps in this country?
Exactly. We have maps, but not enough to cover the entirety of the country.
What is preventing us from
what normally happens
enough?
Is where the maps become available to the level of precision required, the minister then will declare that particular area where the maps are available as a title registration district.
Now, these maps that you talk about, which institution is supposed to draw these maps?
It's the Lands Commission, and the Lands Commission has a division called Survey and Mapping Division. That's the body that has responsibility within the framework of the Lands Commission to make the maps available. But the maps have to be paid for by somebody. And you know who that somebody is, the Republic of Ghana. And these maps involve flying of area photos, involves what we call ground truthing. So after the flying, you have to go to the ground. It's not cheap, if I may say so.
Okay.
So if you cannot make the maps, then you do with the deeds. But you know, you can always graduate from deeds to title if your maps are ready. So in 1986, when the Land Title Registration Law PNDC 152 was enacted, provision was made that all the areas which have been declared registration districts under title, all the deeds which were registered must first be converted before new registrations were done. So you can graduate from deeds to title.
Okay.
So the rest of the country where we have done deeds could be converted to title as we progress. And in any event, Chief, you can also upgrade deeds within the deeds framework. You can demand some basic precision in the deeds. So for this, even now, before you submit any document to the Land Commission for registration, you must bring or you must have attached to the document a barcoded site plan, which is a plan drawn to precision. So we can even have an upgraded version of deeds, so that the transition from deeds to title becomes very smooth.
And talking about the barcodes, so let me just ask this question because there's been a question about the barcode system in land registration introduced by the Lands Commission, which is to make land documents authentic, traceable, and tamper-proof.
Yes, particularly the plan. Plan.
Okay, so in that case,
because in the past, some of these plans were just traced. They take a block and they put kerosene and some things. They just trace a site plan from a block. And if you have a site plan which has a scale of 1 inch to 2,500 feet on the ground, you can imagine a little shift of your hands, and they will say that the land has shifted. You know, it's only in Ghana that I have heard that land shift when there is no earthquake. It means that there was an error in the survey. The land itself doesn't just shift.
Okay. So in the absence of land titles, these barcodes provide enough proof?
Yeah, not enough proof, but it gives us some comfort by way of the precision in the survey. That's all.
Oh, okay.
A barcoded plan does not add to proof of ownership. No. It adds to precision of the plans.
Okay.
So at least you know that plan, which is computer readable and properly done and certified by the director of survey or his authorized rep, positions the land on exactly where it is on earth.
Okay.
So at least we got that one right. That where the land is where it is. Not where somebody gives you a plan and he says that the land is somewhere in cantonments. And when you plot, the land is in the Atlantic Ocean behind Independence Square. That one, the barcoded plan would prevent that one.
Oh, okay. So you've talked about the need to have maps. What else must we do to be able to have more districts?
So we have to have the maps, and we also have to make a decision as to the modality for titling. You know, our law made provision for systematic titling. It means that the whole country would have to be titled. So all the parcels that have been identified should be titled, even if the owner of the parcel has not applied for titling. So the question is, and this question is still bothering us as a country, who pays for the cost of first registration? Who pays for the cost of first registration?
Who pays?
Yes. Should it be the state? Should the state? So if you take like cantonments. Should the state put all the lands parcels in cantonments on the register, bear the cost, and wait for the state to recoup if the proprietors of those lands one day want to transfer, and the state will then recoup? Or the state should leave the individual applicants to apply to come and register. In that case, you cannot have systematic titling. You can only have sporadic titling.
What do you propose?
There are 5 plans. There are 5 land sharing boundary. If only one person voluntarily shows up to register, the 4 will not be registered.
Okay, what do you propose?
The state should fund systematic titling, and the state should fund it incrementally. So, like Accra, if the state declares Greater Accra, the state should go ahead and title Greater Accra, and go to the next and the next. Look, we traveled to the UK some years back when we were doing this land reform project. They've been doing titling for more than 100 years. The whole of UK is not titled yet. The whole of the United Kingdom is not yet titled. So titling is not a one-day activity, 1 year activity, 10-year activity, 20 years activity. No, it will take some time, but we should have a plan to get to the end. Like I'm telling you, UK, as of the time we visited, had not completed titling the whole country with all their resources.
Okay.
You know, so sometimes we Ghanaians, it's good we are ambitious, but we also have to be, you know, sometimes moderate in our demands. If UK, with all the resources and everything else, and the number of years at it, have not completed their country,
can't we become the model country?
You know, everybody talks about Rwanda, not so. Rwanda is the size of the central region. So, if your country is the size of central region, how could that country be a model for us? Yes, they've done well. We have to commend them. But, and land in Rwanda virtually has been taken over by the state. Here, with the multiplicity of owners and customary systems, with state systems, family systems, clan systems, school systems. So we have a serious matter on our hands. Ghana as a country has taken the position of pursuing unity in diversity. We have allowed all the diverse ownership systems to simultaneously coexist. So this is what we have chosen, and we have to live with it. To live with it.
Great. Lawyer, since you have to be in the court, let's wrap it up this way.
In fact, I'm getting close. Around National Theatre.
Yes.
Means that I'm close to the court complex.
You are very close. You're very close. So let's wrap it up so you could go to court. So going forward, you would suggest that the state systematically does this, and then once the individuals are coming for the title, then the state
because they will come by all means. The state then recoups, or when they are transferring, the state recoups. So the state would have opportunities to recoup the investment. But we should start. The state must make some investments in mapping. And you know, the other problem is the Lands Commission systems are not fully digitized. So whilst we are waiting for the maps, the Lands Commission should continue the digitalization of their records and their processes. Not just their records, their processes, I can tell you. If they digitalize their records and their processes, eventual conversion will not be too complicated. Okay. So there are things in place.
Now,
gradually we should get somewhere.
Okay, someone listening says, so having a deed is not land ownership. you only hold the land given you, which you paid for, by the way, by Ni Anyete Kwakranya, until you have the title?
Is the deed that will not give you the sleep and the peace of mind that the title would give you. That's the difference. In one case, you can sleep maybe 5 hours. In the other case, you can sleep 2 hours every night. So you have to decide whether you want to sleep 5 hours or you want to sleep 2 hours.
Lawyer.
And the Republic has a role to play in how long you can sleep if you are a landowner.
Okay.
So let's all work as it like this conversation. I have read a graphic editorial talking about this morning, and the judge has spoken, and I am speaking. Let others speak, and God willing, those who control the national purse, they too may have been affected one way or the other by the land issues.
Okay.
Let's all work and invest in registration. Because, look, at the end of the day, what do we have? Ghana as a country has 238,000 square kilometers of land.
Yes.
At independence, we were less than 6 million by way of population. Now we are more than 35 million if we counted ourselves properly. So if we cannot manage our land, we don't have a future.
Professor Kwame Gyan, thank you very, very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.